We are in prayers. Almighty God, creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our counsels and actions so that I may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the unity, peace, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria. Amen. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend their unity and uphold their honor and glory. So help me God. Honorable colleagues, today, students of Nigerian Economic Students Association from Department of Economics, Veritas University, Abuja are here with us to observe our proceedings. Please, can you rise up for recognition? You are most welcome. Honorable colleagues, I have examined and approved the votes and proceedings of Thursday, 16th May 2024. Any member with petition? Any member with petition, please? No petition today? Is the chairman well? I wonder, how is it possible? Eh?
Today is sit down the look.
It's a petition-free day.
Yes, sir.
Good. Yagba, you have one? Please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Abdullahi Balarabe Dabai, representing Bakuri Danja Federal Constituency. I am from Katsina State. I have a petition in respect of land trespass. They want a discreet investigation and compensation of claims. I seek the leave of the House and the authority of the Speaker to lay this petition. Thank you.
Please go ahead. Any more? This petition is referred to the Committee of Public Petition for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, I have announcements concerning some reconstitution of committees. It's my pleasure to announce Honorable Abubakar Babazango as Deputy Chairman, Committee on HIV, AIDS, Tuberculosis, and Malaria Control. Honorable Ayub Azar Kudampar will now be Deputy Chairman, Committee on Science Engineering, while Honorable Obodo Mitema will be Deputy Chairman, Special Committee on Oil Theft. Thank you. Rules and business, please, can you proceed? Honorable colleagues, I'm sure you remember that last week, the President has submitted a proposal, a request for approval for the establishment of a promissory note program for reimbursement to Kebbi State and Nasarawa State governments for the takeover of newly constructed airports by the federal government. The message was conveyed, but referral was not made. So it's my pleasure to announce that this particular request is referred to the Committee on Loans and Debts for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, we have another announcement coming from Right Honorable Ibrahim Adekule Isiaka, and the message reads as follows. The Right Honorable Speaker, my distinguished honorable colleagues, with all modesty, I wish to inform you of the presence of my family members who are on short holidays and are attending the plenary session and proceedings of the House of Representatives today, May 21st, 2024. My wife, Alaja Muimbat Ayodeji Isiaka, here in Nigeria, accompanies her son with his family members from the United States of America, who have long held a keen interest in politics and governance in Nigeria. They are excited to witness firsthand the important work being carried out in the House of Representatives and to observe the democratic process in action. Their presence serves as a reminder of the public's interest and engagement in the work being done by the House of Representatives under the leadership of Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas. My son, with his immediate family members and his father-in-law from the United States of America are First Lieutenant Abdul Majid Adiola Isiaka, a commissioned Army officer of the United States of America, Staff Sergeant Sharita Taisha Lockhart Isiaka, wife of my son, Lieutenant Abdul Majid Adiola Isiaka, Master Amir Isiaka, the fifth grandson, First Sergeant Albert Tyrone Lockhart, a retired Army non-commissioned officer of the United States of America, who is my father-in-law, father to the wife of my son. I appreciate your consideration while they witness the session in the House. Sincerely, yours, Right Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Oyekule Isiaka. Is the family around? Please, can you stand up for recognition? You are most welcome to the People's House. Thank you. You may sit down, please. Any member who has a matter of urgent public importance may present to the House, please. Sir. And I will start by recognizing Abdul Samad Dasuki, if he's around, to move his motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Abdul Samad Dasuki, representing Kebe Tambuwal from Sokoto State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise this morning to move a matter of urgent public importance for the House to under Order 8-5 of the Standing Rules of the House, for the House to look at this matter as urgent for the need to waive the toll gate fees in all Nigerian airports for members of the Nigerian Armed Forces. I so move, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Any seconder to the first leg? Yes, Honorable, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Bragaja Mohammed, member representing Isa and South Beni Federal Constituency. I am from Sokoto State. I raise to second the motion ably briefed by Senator Akin Sokoto. Honorable Abdusamad Suki, Mr. Speaker. I so.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg of the motion is the DS with a small d.
The irrational. Very distinguished colleagues, I remain Engineer Shehu Alhaji Tafuki, member representing Paskari, Kankara, Sabwa, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Katsina State. I rise to second the second leg of the motion, ably moved by my brother, Honorable Abdul Samad Dasuki. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Dasuki, please proceed and present your motion.
Once again, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Abdul Samad Dasuki, representing Kebetambual from Sokoto State. The House notes that it was reported on May 14th by online and print media that the Minister of Aviation announced that the Federal Executive Council has approved the cancellation of all exemptions on airport access payments for VIPs in Nigeria due to the huge revenue losses they caused to the federal government. The House also notes that the Minister of Aviation will implement a decision of the Federal Executive Council by sending out circulars to relevant authorities in a matter of days. The House further notes that men and women of the armed forces honor our nation with the highest form of service and without reservation, keeping us safe from harm, protecting our wealth and territorial integrity, ensuring safe navigation on our territorial waters, protecting our borders, including the Gulf of Guinea, the creeks, Sahara Desert, and the forests, and fighting armed bandits who invade our communities. The House aware that it is important to show gratitude by honoring our brothers and sisters who are voluntarily serving under our flag, putting in their active years to keep our nation safe, with some losing their lives and some becoming disabled from the battlefield, among other effects. The House also aware that honoring these men and women in uniform and also encouraging fellow citizens to acknowledge their service to the nation is the right step to take as a way to appreciate their immeasurable sacrifices they make. Further aware that honoring those who fight for our survival will also inspire our youth to enroll in the military, not as a means of escaping the web of unemployment, but as a valuable call to higher service to the nation. Concerned that members of the armed forces are subjected to paying access to airports, where they are also expected to protect citizens and foreigners alike, whether or not they are on duty and even while they are passengers themselves. Also concerned that their services, through renominated, cannot be quantified, especially when the risks to them and their dependents are considered. Therefore, we should not be hesitant to show them in our little way that we see them and we acknowledge their sacrifices. Worried that unless we are intentional in showing our appreciation to them by extending privileges like the proposed exemption, our nation will appear to underrate their services and lack knowledge of the value they bring. The House do resolves to 1, direct the Minister of Aviation to mandate the relevant authorities to exempt members of the armed forces from toll gate fees, parking payments in airports across the country. 2, direct the House Committee on Aviation to ensure compliance with the directive. I so move, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Any seconder or contribution? Amendment, right? Yes, Honorable, go ahead.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues, because of the critical role the armed forces play in our nation building, I think it's good we include I'm Hussein Mohammed Jallo, representing the good people of Yagba Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. My amendment is on the need to include railways, seaports, and motor parks on the list as enumerated by the presenter of this motion. Thank you.
Any seconder to this amendment? Any seconder? Did you understand what the mover is talking about? He's saying that any public transportation channel, members of the armed forces should be given priority on boarding. I think it is a practice I know that is applicable in some developed countries like America. I don't know whether you think it is wise and proper for us in Nigeria to also key in. On the same subject matter, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Right Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Ayakunle Isiaka. I speak for and on behalf of the very good people of Ifo Federal Constituency. Our own speaker, I'm from the fastest growing economic state in Nigeria. I'm from Ogun State. I want to give riders to both the honorable member, my very distinguished friend that presented this motion, and that of the amendment being moved by my dear colleague. The motion at hand is so specific about the directive on the tickets by the aviation. And in my own opinion, I don't think that of other transport sectors can now be introduced. But going forward, Mr. Speaker, it is tried to say for our senior citizens, I want to encourage my honorable member to come up with another motion that will encapsulate this idea that he has so generated, maybe that many of us have never thought of. So that we could now cover holistically, aside that of the ticket on the aviation. Going forward, sir, Mr. Speaker, my amendment to what Honorable Dasuki moved is on the second leg. Since this concerns the Committee on Aviation, Mr. Speaker.
You know, somebody is already, we have not taken position on the first amendment, so I don't think if it is proper for you to move for another amendment. Perhaps you can wait until we take a position on the first amendment, and then we give you the opportunity to move for the second amendment. Unless if your own amendment will also contradict, it's in negation of the first amendment that we are discussing about now.
That's taken, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay. So, any seconder to the amendment moved by Honorable Jallo? Yes, Honorable Chair, go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Nnamdi Zechi is my name. I represent Ndokwa Akwani Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Delta State. I rise here this morning to second the amendment ably moved by my dear brother and colleague, Honorable Jallo. I so second.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Honorable Isiaka, you can move your amendment. Second amendment, right?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The amendment is that that's on the second leg. And of course, the first one had negated that. So I want to withdraw it, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you very much. So those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Aviation for further legislative action. The second motion is coming from Honorable Lake Joseph Abejide. If Honorable Lake is around, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Lake Joseph Abejide is my name. I represent the good people of Yagba East, Yagba West, Mapamurufra constituency. I'm from Kogi State. I rise under 8 Rule 5 to move a motion of urgent public importance on the urgent need to address the insecurity and incessant attack against the people of Yagba land perpetrated by unknown gunmen in Yagba Federal Constituency. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Tajuddin.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Speaker, colleagues. Karib Tajuddin Abisodu is my name. I represent the people of Shaki East, Shaki West, and Atisbo Federal Constituency. Right Honorable Speaker, sir, I'm from Oyo State. I rise this morning to second the motion being ably moved by my colleague, Honorable Ajibije. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg. Yes, Honorable Mohammed.
Speaker, sir, and honorable colleagues, my name is Abdul Malik Abdul Rahim Danga. I represent the
Forgive me for the mistake. I've taken note.
You are forgiven, sir, Your Excellency. I rise to support the second leg of the motion ably moved by my senior colleague, also support.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Joseph, please kindly move your motion.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Honorable Leke Abejide is my name. I remain a member representing the people of Yagba Federal Constituency. I'm from Kogi State. The motion is on the urgent need to address the insecurity and incessant attack against the people of Yagba land perpetrated by unknown gunmen. Alarmed by the shocking incident that occurred on May 7th, 2024 in the Jiba community, Yagba West local government area of Kogi State, where a group of armed kidnappers numbering about 10, all dressed in black, stormed the central market in a broad daylight and abducted a prominent businesswoman, Buki, and a male customer after shooting sporadically, causing panic and fear among the residents. Further alarmed that security personnel are not spared by these headmen and their communities, as a policeman was macheted along Okutadudu in Yagba West local government area on the 11th of May, 2024, underscoring the grim security situation and the regrettable failure of the current security architecture, which appears to be overwhelmed by the audacity of these headmen and their community. Troubled by the fact that comparable violent attacks and kidnapping have been occurring on a weekly basis, including a prior incident approximately 2 weeks before the Ejiba incident, where 2 individuals were abducted from residence of a prominent businessman and political figure named Mr. David Joseph, an abduction that tragically resulted in death of one of the victims. Deeply troubled by another recent development on Friday, May 17, 2024, where 2 persons were ambushed and brutally killed at Ogbe community in Yagba West local government area of the state by herdsmen armed with sophisticated weapons who slaughtered their victims without being apprehended by local security services. Recall that more than 6 persons were kidnapped within the space of 48 hours around Isolu in Yagba East local government area, and 3 people were again murdered between Idofin and Isolu in an attempt to escape from the kidnappers. Worried with grave concern that these attacks are perpetrated under the pretext of migration by cattle herders, a lot of whom are non-Nigerians. Also worried that these armed groups infiltrated farms and forests in the area, populate the regions from within the forest, the outskirts and fringes of existing communities, and engage in kidnapping, killing, raping, and maiming of indigenes, causing several insecurity and fear among the local populace. Further worried that these armed groups are not known to the indigenous people of the land. They live uncivilized lives and have adopted a hostile existence completely at variance with the local culture and way of life, creating a divide within the community. Disturbed that the indigenous people who do not own weapons now live in fear of the heavily armed non-indigenous who have forcibly seized farmlands, causing serious famine due to inability of indigenous to farm and access their agricultural lands. Also disturbed about the inability of the security apparatus to address the systematic takeover of lands belonging to the good people of Yagba Federal Constituency, as they allow private individuals to carry arms in broad daylight, watch as non-natives take over farms, eat crops of indigenous farmers, and sack indigenes from their farmlands, with many killed for trying to access their lands or objecting to the eating of their crops. Perplexed that the herders and their newly established communities are known to openly carry arms, cutlasses, machetes, openly in contrast to the indigenous people of Yagba land, who have traditionally relied on Nigeria police for protection and do not engage in such practices. Deeply saddened by the trend of violence and hopelessness that has befallen the once peaceful Yagba axis of Kogi West Central District, which has now turned into an epicenter of banditry and kidnapping, with criminals operating on a daily basis, leaving the local populace in a state of constant fear and despair. They also resolved to urge the federal government to direct urgent attention and concentrated effort toward the Yagba axis of Kogi West Central District, an area formerly renowned for its peaceful nature, but which has tragically devolved into a hotbed of banditry, kidnapping, and other criminal activities occurring on a daily basis. 2, urge the Chief of Defense Staff and Inspector General of Police to identify and profile each individual living in obscurity within the forest of Yagba Federal Constituency, a lot of whom are non-Nigerian for security purposes. 3, further urge the Inspector General of Police to carry out a comprehensive mop-up of all arms, ammunition, AK-47, cutlasses, and other weapons in their possession, in the possession of the herders and individuals within the constituency, to prohibit the public carrying of such arms and weapons. 4, urge security architecture, including the Inspector General of Police, the Director General of State Security Services, the Commandant General of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, to comb Yagba Forest and secure immediate release of victims and arrest the kidnappers. 5, urge the federal government to set a comprehensive security strategy in collaboration with local stakeholders to address the root causes of the insecurity and ensure the safety and well-being of all residents in Yagba Federal Constituency. And finally, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, to urge the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. Thank you so much. And a minute silence for the victims.
Is that contained in your prayers? I think if you want that to be done, somebody can come by way of amendment. It's not contained here. Okay, any contribution or amendment? Yes, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My distinguished colleagues, Olumide Oshoba, representing Abeokuta North, Obafemi Ode, and Odeda Federal Constituency. I'd like to amend the motion to have a minute silence for the victims of the attacks. I so move. Thank you.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Any seconder to the main motion? Lalu, Honorable Lalu.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am by name Honorable Ishaya David Lalu, member representing Mangu Bokos Federal Constituency I am from Plateau State, the home of peace and tourism. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by my colleague, Honorable Leke. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion as amended, should say aye. Those against, should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Defense and Police for further legislative action. Shall we rise for a minute silence? May their soul rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, it's my pleasure to invite Honorable Barrister Jesse Oke Joy from Lagos to move his motion.
Your Excellency, the Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Barrister Jesse Okejo Onwakalis. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I represent Nigeria, especially the habit of Lagos, Social Resolution. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I rise this morning under 8 Rule 5 that the House suspend its rules to enable me move this motion of urgent public importance concerning the abysmal state of the radio detection and ranging system, otherwise called radar, at Ikeja Moita Mohammed International Airport. Mr. Speaker, in Tokyo, I so move.
Any seconder to the first leg of the motion? Any seconder? Yes, Honorable David from Benue.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Ogel David Agada, member representing Oju Obe Federal Constituency. I'm from Benue State. I rise this morning to second this motion as heavily moved by my honorable colleague. I say second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg. Yes, my dear sister.
The Right Honorable Speaker, my dear colleagues, I remain Marie Enenimiete Ebikake, representing the wonderful people of Brass Nembe Federal Constituency. I rise this morning to second the second leg of the motion moved by my colleague. I do second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, please proceed.
Thank you, distinguished Speaker and esteemed colleagues. Thank you for the indulgence. Mr. Speaker and esteemed colleagues, motion on urgent public importance on enhanced accountability and competence in Nigerian airports. The House knows that there is need to maintain a high standard of safety, security, and efficiency at our airports, ensuring that all personnel and contractors are properly qualified and competent is vital to the smooth operation of our airports and safety for all passengers and stakeholders. The House also notes that the efficient functioning of Nigerian airports is critical to the national security, safety, and economic development. The House further notes that recent incidents have raised concern about the competency and accountability of personnel and contractors working at our airports. The House is aware that the potential risk to safety, security, and efficiency posed by appointment of incompetent officers to sensitive positions and employment of political appointees that lack requisite knowledge and competency is detrimental to safety and security of our airports. The House is worried that the abysmal state of affairs
radio and detection radar, otherwise called radar system, which present a disaster awaiting to happen, often labors and fail at critical time when the need arises. The House is worried that the state of our communication radios, with previous attempt to resolve this challenge, yielded no positive improvement, leading Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader. So I think without any waste of time, we can put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Aviation for further legislative action. Yes, Chair. Go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Francis Ejirogene Waives, my name, and I represent the entire people of Ugele North, Ugele South, and Udu. I am from Delta State and chair the Committee on Rules and Business. I'm mentioning the committee because the point of order I'm bringing are twofold. I plead with honorable colleagues to please bear with me. The point of order is based on Order 9, Rule 6, that provides that any matter that has been debated and agreed upon cannot be revisited until there is a motion for rescission. Mr. Speaker, I'm looking at the votes and proceedings of the 9th of May, and there's this ad hoc committee that is set up to carry out a number of interventions. The interventions, Mr. Speaker, are so wide, very all-encompassing, and takes over the duties of all committees in the House, and even some of the executive functions. The prayers that were passed on that day, I want to appeal that we rescind them. I'm referring to the committee that's on tracking of activities of private sector, foreign and local trade malpractices, HB 187 of this House, with the committee being chaired by Honorable Maki, and 12 others. The prayers that were passed, if you permit me to read them: recover, harness, or prevent further loss of such magnitude in a bid to enhance overall country's GDP. Track activities in the private sector, foreign sector, local companies. Carry out its statutory oversight functions in all increasing sophisticated private sector. Build a technical software tracker that cannot be easily bypassed. You will see that the last one is an executive function, to build a software. And if you look at all the other prayers, they are so wide that every committee in the House will lose their own activities, their own assignment for this ad hoc committee. So I want to pray, Mr. Speaker, for the House to rescind this decision such that the committee that's so set up can meet with the sponsor and perhaps leadership and restructure the prayers such that they will be defined, they will be specific, and they will be goal-oriented. That's my prayer, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Can the two leaders and DS please approach the chair? You two, please.
Yeah.
The chair rules. I have noted your personal explanation, and I would want to advise that you come by way of substantive motion to present these anomalies, if they are. Thank you. The honorable members, the first business of the day is presentation of 21 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Federal Capital Territory Statutory Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2024, first reading. National Anti-Doping Bill 2024, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, sixth alteration Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Vocational Training Center, RIOM, Plateau State Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Medical Physics Regulatory Council of Nigeria 1999, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, sixth alteration Bill 2024, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, sixth alteration Bill 2024, first reading. Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, sixth alteration Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, sixth alteration Bill 2024, first reading. Federal University Kisi Oyo State Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Fiscal Responsibility Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Labor Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Pension Reform Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Federal College of Dental Technology and Therapy, Kusada, Katsina State Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Technical and Vocational Training Center, ABA, Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Local Industry Patronage Bill 2024, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, sixth alteration Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Housing Authority Bill 2024, first reading.
Honorable colleagues, the second business of the day is presentation of 5 reports of the Committee on Public Petition. Honorable Mike Etaba is hereby invited to present the reports.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Mike Etaba, member representing Obubraitu. I'm from Cross River, the People's Paradise. Mr. Speaker, I rise to present the following bills from the committee. The House do receive the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Olabumiji and co. against the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Police Force on the gruesome murder of Babajide Oluwolabi on the 6th of August 2019 by soldiers attached to 93 Battalion, Takum, Taraba State, while on national assignment with the Inspector General of Police, IGP Intelligence Response Team. The second report I'm presenting is the House do hereby receive the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by PP, AGIO, and Associate against National Examination Council, NECO, for unlawful dismissal from office. Mr. Speaker, the House also do receive the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Alifa Onun against the Nigeria Customs Service on the non-compliance of the House resolution on its case. The House also received the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the position by Kennedy C. Amos, Associate, against Airtel Network Limited over fraudulent transactions involving the land of Mrs. Julina Nwekama of Biana Town, Kana local government area of Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, the last but not the least is the House do hereby receive the report on the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Civil Society for Actis Value Development Initiative on the denial of promotion for professor working at the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Research and Development. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, these are my reports, and I urge that you allow me to lay the report, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? Yes, Honorable. Please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Aya Kusada. I represent Kenkia Kusada Yagba Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Katsina State. I rise to second as moved by Honorable Mike Etaba to lay the report. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Chair, please proceed and lay your reports. The first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Act Cap A12, Laws of Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to make provisions for establishment of agricultural and energy technical institutes above Delta State and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Nnamdi Ezechi. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 22nd November 2023. I now invite Honorable Ezechi to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, Nnamdi Ezechi is my name. I represent Ndokwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Delta State. I rise here this morning to move this very important motion of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap 812 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provision for the establishment of Agricultural and Energy Technical Institute in Abo, Ndokwa East Local Government Area of Delta State for related matters HB 955. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder? My good brother, I know you are smiling. You want to put me on trial. I will not take it, but go ahead and second.
Okay. The right, Honorable Speaker, my distinguished colleagues. My name remains Honorable Kelechi Mogu. I represent the people of Echie Omuma constituency. I'm from Rivers State, the treasure base of the nation. I hereby second the motion moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Please, can you go ahead, Honorable?
Mr. Speaker.
Lead the debate, please.
Honorable colleagues, Nnamdi Ezechi is my name. I represent Ndokwa Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Delta State. I rise here this morning to move a motion of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap 812, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for the establishment of Agricultural and Energy Technical Institute in Abo, Delta State, and for related matters, HB 955. Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I stand before you this morning for this second reading of a bill that holds immense potential for the agricultural and energy sectors of the nation. This bill seeks to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act of the Federation 2004 to pave way for establishment of Agricultural and Energy Technical Institute in Abo, Delta State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, the importance of agriculture cannot be overstated in our quest for sustainable development and economic prosperity. It is a backbone of our nation, providing food security, employment opportunities, and a significant contribution to our GDP. However, to fully harness the potential of agricultural sector, it is urgent need for innovative approach, modern techniques, and specialized training. Mr. Speaker, because of time, let me go to the fourth paragraph. Furthermore, this bill aligns with the government policies that agriculture is a great hope for this country, and to diversify the economy and promote self-sufficiency in food production. Mr. Speaker, in addition to this economic benefit, the Institute will serve as catalyst for innovation, technology transfer, and collaboration between academia, industry, and government agencies by fostering a conducive environment for research and development. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I urge my esteemed colleagues to support this bill for second reading. Together, let us seize this opportunity to invest in the future of agriculture and energy in Nigeria and pave the way for a brighter and prosperous tomorrow. I appeal to my honorable colleagues to support this bill to be read the second time. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Any seconder? My old friend Uduak, I have not seen your face for quite some time. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, thank you for this opportunity to second this bill, this motion. I am Honorable Alfonso Sodudo. I represent the good people of Ikotabasi, pertaining an East Noble Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Akwa Ibom State, and I rise this moment to second that motion. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, go ahead.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Cap 812 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provisions for establishment of agricultural and energy technical institute above Delta State and for related matters, second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions for further legislative action. The second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend to make provision for the retirement age for officers of the Nigerian Police Force and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Wale Hamid. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 8 February 2024. I now invite Honorable Hamid to move that the bill be read a second time. I was made to understand that Hamid is not around, so with the kind leave of the House, this bill is stepped down. The third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend National Teachers Institute Act, Cap N79, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to constitute membership of the Council and provide Nigeria's certificate in education, undergraduate, postgraduate, and research programs in teachers' education, and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Al-Malik Zubairu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 28 March 2024. I now invite Honorable Abdul Malik to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Abdul Malik Zubairu Bungudu, representing Bungudu Modu Federal Constituency of Zamfara State. The bill for an act to amend the National Teachers Institute Act CAF N79, Law of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to constitute the membership of the Council, establish Senate, and provide national teachers internships programs, engineering certificate education, undergraduate, postgraduate programs using distance learning systems, and research programs in teachers' education, and for related matters, to be read for the second time, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? If you are from Jigawa and from one of the biggest local governments, you can rise.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Saad Taura, representing the good people of Ringim and Taura Federal Constituency. I'm from Jigawa State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion ably raised by Honorable Abdul Malik Zubairu Zanam Bungudu. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, please lead the debate.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I still remain Honorable Abdul Malik Zubairu Bungudu, member representing Bungudu Modu Federal Constituency of Zamfara State. Due to the time constraint, let me go direct. Mr. Speaker, the National Teachers Institute Kaduna has been in operation since 1976, and it was backed up by a law established in 1978. It has opened numerous opportunities for teachers and educational professions in Nigeria. At the moment, it has NCE and degree programs in the field of teachers' education in affiliation with some universities. It also shoulders the National Teachers Internship Programs in collaboration with Teachers Registration Councils of Nigeria. This bill seeks to amend the Principal Act of the primary purpose of including the existing programs and to constitute the memberships of the Council to enable the Institute to discharge its duties more efficiently. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, these bills contain 10 sections, and the general principles of the bills are to reconstitute the memberships of the Council, to replace a modern academic institutions, create the Senate and the principal office of the Institute, include NCE, degree, and the research programs, as well as the inclusion of the National Teachers Internship Programs. Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues should recall that these are existing institutions with physical and staff structure. I therefore urge Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues to support this bill for the betterment of the teachers' education in Nigeria. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? I've seen another friend of mine whom I have not said hello to for quite a while. Honorable Ikenga, this is your red cap. You know it's unique. Can you second this motion, please?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Ikenga Imo Gochinyere. I represent the good people of Idaho North and South Federal Constituency. I stand to second the motion ably moved by my brother. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk?
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend National Teachers Institute Act N79, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to constitute membership of the Council and provide Nigeria certificate in education, undergraduate, postgraduate, and research programs in teachers' education and for related matters. Second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Federal Colleges of Education for further legislative action. The fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act to establish Federal Medical Center Atan Ota, Ogun State, for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Olatunji Akinosi. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 27 July 2023. I now invite Honorable Akinosi to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Olatunji Akinosi is my name. I'm an engineer and a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I represent the industrious people of Ado-Odwota Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ogun State. I move that the bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act to establish Federal Medical Center Atan-Ota in Ado-Odwota Federal Constituency, Ogun State, and for related matters, HB 349, be read the second time. I so move, sir.
Any seconder? Yes, Honorable Mohammed.
His Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable colleagues, Mohammed Omar Bio is my name. I speak for the people of Barutin and Kayama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable colleagues, I'm from Kwara State. I rise to second the motion by my honorable colleagues from Ogun State. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable, please go ahead and lead the debate.
Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, again, Olatunji Akinosi is my name. I represent the industrious people of Ado-Odwota Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I feel highly honored to lead this debate on the bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center Atan-Ota in Ado-Odwota Federal Constituency, HB 349. Mr. Speaker will recollect that this bill was first read on the 27th of July 2023. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, it is worthy of note that health plays a crucial role in the economic growth and development of our dear nation. It is therefore on this note that I will be addressing this crucial need for the establishment of a federal medical center in Atan-Ota, Ogun State today. May I please inform this noble house that Ado-Odwota Federal Constituency, Ogun State, has one of the largest concentrations of industries in Nigeria. It is our nation's industrial hub, with a growing population which has exposed the area to environmental hazards, pollution of factory wastes, and effluents. Sadly, it has no tertiary health center or facility that can provide qualitative health services to the populace. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I also need to inform you that the industries and businesses in my federal constituency generate one of the largest revenues to the Federal Inland Services in Nigeria. My constituents are in dire need of a medical center to fulfill the huge gap of health and address the concerns of those whose future need to be guaranteed by establishing this federal medical center. The establishment of this federal medical center will go a long way to reduce the burden of health challenges of my constituents. Honorable Speaker, honorable members, once this medical center is established, it will create health security for my dear state Ogun and its environs. It is in view of this that I implore my honorable colleagues to support that this bill be read and passed through second reading, so as to provide the medical center for Ado-Odwota Federal Constituency in Ogun State. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Isiaka.
Once again, thank you very much. Our own quintessential speaker with substantial values. My distinguished honorable colleagues, Right Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka. I speak for and on behalf of the very good and wonderful people of Ifo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from the fastest growing economic state in Nigeria. Proudly, I'm from Ogun State. I rise, Mr. Speaker, wholeheartedly to second this bill as ably moved and well espoused by Honorable Engineer Akinci. Mr. Speaker, I have no more to say than to second this wonderful bill, and we allow it to pass for the second reading. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act to establish Federal Medical Center at Tanota, Ogun State, and for related matters, second reading.
This bill is referred to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative action. The fifth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the National Health Insurance Authority Act 2021 to establish National Social Register as the primary identification tool for the disbursement of the Vulnerable Group Fund and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Adebayo Samuel Adeshola. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 1st November 2023, and now invite Honorable Adedayo to move that the bill be read a second time. Is Honorable on the floor? No?
Right Honorable Speaker, the Right Honorable Member is not on seat. I move that the bill be stepped down.
Bill stepped down by the leave of the House. The sixth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for a bill to amend the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act to remove spouse from the list of persons required to declare their assets and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Tazir Olawole Raji, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 31st October 2023, and now invite Honorable Raji to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Wale Raji. I represent the good people of a Federal Constituency of Lagos State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to amend the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act to remove spouse from the list of persons required to declare their assets and for related matters be read for the second time. I do move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? Any seconder? Yes, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear honorable colleagues, Omori Murphy Osaro is my name. Ego Ikpobaka Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from the ancient city of Benin, from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to second the motion that the bill be read the second time. Mr. Speaker, I so support.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Raji, please lead the debate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, once again. My name is Wale Raji. I represent the people, the good people of a peripheral constituency of Lagos State. Before us, Mr. Speaker, and my honorable colleagues, is a bill that seeks to amend Section 15, subsection 1C, and Section 23, subsection 7 of the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act. Mr. Speaker, Section 15.1 provides thus that every public officer shall within 15 months after coming into force of this act or immediately after taking office and thereafter, A, at the end of every 4 years, B, at the end of his term of office, C, in the case of a serving officer, within 30 days of the receipt of the form from the Bureau or at such other intervals as the Bureau may specify, submit to the Bureau a written declaration in the form prescribed in the first schedule of this Act or in such form as the Bureau may from time to time specify of all its properties, assets, and liabilities, and those of his spouse or unmarried children under the age of 21. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleague, the implication of the above provision is that a person to whom this law applies is mandated to declare the assets of his spouse as stipulated in the Act. In addition, such a person is also mandated to attest the correctness of the information provided before a High Court judge. The effect of this provision is that the declarant is liable where the information provided is false, incorrect, or incomplete. In a situation where the spouse of the public officer stroke declarant deliberately withholds information or provides incorrect information, the declarant will be guilty of an offense under this Act. The situation becomes more challenging where the public officer is in a polygamous marriage. The purpose of this amendment, therefore, is to protect a public officer to whom this section of the law applies from embarrassment that may arise as a result of wrong information made available to him or her in the course of the declaration. Secondly, Section 23, subsection 7 of the Act, which this bill seeks to amend, provides thus. The provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 relating to the prerogative of mercy shall not apply to any punishment imposed in accordance with the provision of this section. Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, this section of the Act is draconian and is in conflict with Section 175, subsection 1, paragraph A of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which provides that the President may grant any person concerned with or convicted of any offense created by an act of the National Assembly a pardon, either free or subject to lawful conditions. In line with the above provision, Section 1, subsection 3 of the Constitution provides that any other law that is inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution, these constitutions shall prevail, and that other law shall be, to the extent of its inconsistency, to be void. So what this is saying is that the Constitution grants Mr. President that power to exercise prerogative of mercy for anybody convicted for any offense. Now for for this act to now remove the power, to attempt to remove the power of Mr. President to exercise that prerogative of mercy for contravention of any provision of this act, I believe is unconstitutional and is inconsistent with the provision of the Constitution. And no law can be superior to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Consequently, in view of the above submissions, I urge this Honorable House to expunge Section 23, subsection 7 of the Code of Conduct Tribunal Act. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any contribution? Yes, Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, Kingsley Chinda. My dear colleagues, I rise to contribute to this very, very important bill. Firstly, I will say that the two amendments sought, whilst I agree with one, I appear not to completely agree with the other. The amendment to remove spouse, divulging of information concerning spouse, I think we should look at the spirit behind the law. The intendment, the spirit behind the law is to curb issues of corruption in public office. And we are aware that some of these actions take place under pseudo-names, most often spouses and children. And so we have seen discoveries in this country where children that are underage have trillions or billions of naira to their credit. I think that that is the intention of the draftsman when this was done. The area that I think we should look at more critically is the age limit. Here we have age limit of 21 years, whilst ordinarily at 18, you become matured and independent. So I think that that should be considered, perhaps at the public hearing and the committee stage, to look at the age limit. Rather than put an age limit of 21, we should reduce it to what we have to 18, because after 18, you are no longer liable for the actions of your child. Now, the second amendment sought, I completely agree with it and commend the drafter that there is need for us not to craft laws that will be clearly in contradiction with the ground norm, which is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In totality, I will ask that we allow this bill to pass for second reading, and then subsequently, these issues will be looked into and corrections made. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Leader. As you have rightly mentioned, the bill may not be perfect, but the public hearing is another avenue where it can be further debated and a better position taken. So thank you for giving your support. Without any waste of time, I'll put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act to remove spouse from the list of persons required to declare their assets and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Anti-Corruption for further legislative action. The seventh order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish Nigeria Ajakuta Special Trust Fund and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Sani Igeti Ibrahim. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 30th April 2023. I now invite Honorable Ibrahim to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ibrahim Samad contacted Rules and Business that he wasn't quite ready. He will do more legislative work and reach the House back. So I'll plead that it be stepped down.
Bills stepped down by the leave of the House. The eighth order of the day is a motion on reconsideration of outstanding bills from preceding assembly. Standing in the name of Honorable Francis E. Waive. Honorable Waive is hereby invited to move the motion.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
What order?
Yes. Order 8, Rule 6, Mr. Speaker, personal explanation.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Comrade Bashir Usman Goro is my name, member representing Goronyo Gadapur constituency. I'm from Sokoto State. Mr. Speaker, I received communication from Committee on Water Resources. Mr. Speaker, I deem it necessary to share with the House. If Mr. Speaker so permit, I will read. Honorable Bashir Usman Goro, House of Representatives, National Assembly, Abuja, re motion on the need for dredging, desalting, and rehabilitation of Goronyo Dam in Sokoto State. House Resolution 145, 7 July 2023. The above subject matters refers, please, kindly note that.
Hello, Honorable.
Yes, sir.
This is wrong. You can't come on the point of order to read a motion.
It's not a motion, sir.
It is a motion already. Please, can you approach the chair?
Yes, sir.
Where are we when the point of order was raised?
Standing bills, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah. Okay. Honorable Chair, please go ahead.
Francis Ejirogene Waives, my name. I represent the entire people of Ugele North, Ugele South, and Udu. I'm from Delta State. I rise to move the motion for the House to consider outstanding bills from previous assembly. The bills as listed on the other paper are Federal University of Dental Technology and Therapy, Enugu, HB 249, Southwest Development Commission Establishment Bill, HB 283, Court of Appeal Amendment Bill, HB 319, Federal University of Medical and Health Sciences, Ondo, Establishment Bill, HB 548, Nigerian Content Programs, Contrasts, Science, Engineering, Technology, and Innovation Bill, HB 1167, African Union Convention for the Protection and Assistance of Internally Displaced Persons, Domestication and Enforcement Bill, HB 1350, and National Agency for Technology Management Establishment Bill, HB 1193. The House notes that pursuant to Order 12, Rule 17 of the Standing Orders, the House may, upon regazetted or circulated, consider in the Committee of the Whole without commencing de novo the bills whose report was presented by the committee before consideration, passed by the House and forwarded to the Senate for concurrence, for which no concurrence was made or negatived, passed by the House and forwarded to the House, for which no concurrence was made or negatived, or passed by the preceding assembly and forwarded to the President for assent, but for which assent or withholding thereof was not communicated before the end of the term of the preceding assembly. Also knows that the aforementioned bills were passed by the preceding assembly and forwarded to the President for assent, but for which assent or withholding thereof was not communicated before the end of the tenure of the last assembly. Aware that the bills were read for the first time as H Bills 249, 283, 219, 319, 548, 1350, 1167, and 1193 respectively, the House resolves to commit the bills to the Committee of the Whole for reconsideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Yes, my dear brother.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members
Famoti Bitrus Lowry. I speak for the people of Jamsa, Numa Lamude Federal Constituency. I rise to second as moved by Chairman Rules and Business. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. The ninth order of the day, sorry, this bill is committed to the Committee of the Whole. The ninth order of the day is a motion on the need to ensure international oil companies involved in the divestment of assets in Niger Delta region of Nigeria comply with the decommissioning, abandonment, regulations and guidelines of the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission as enshrined in the Petroleum Industry Act PIA, standing in the name of Honorable Ikegonu Ogunchere. Honorable Ogunchere is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with the leave of the House, I will want to step down this motion.
Bill stepped down by the leave of the House for further consultation. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, the 10th order of the day is a motion calling on Nigerian police to halt collection of 5,000 naira for issuance of motor vehicle information certificate, standing in the name of Honorable Chris Nkonta. Honorable Nkonta is hereby invited to move the motion. Is not on seat? Okay.
Step down, Mr. Speaker.
This motion is a step down by the leave of the House. Thank you. The 11th order of the day is a motion on non-compliance with corporate social responsibility obligations towards oil-producing communities by ExxonMobil Company Limited in Akwa Ibom State, standing in the name of Honorable Uduak Alphonsus Ududo. Honorable Uduak is hereby invited to move the motion. I was made to understand that Honorable Uduak has also requested that this motion be stepped down. So motion is stepped down by the leave of the House. The 12th order of the day is a motion on rehabilitation of Obiaja, Ebu, and Asaba Federal Road in Aniocha, Oshimili Federal Constituency, standing in the name of Honorable Ngozi Okoli. Honorable Okoli is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Ngozi Okoli. I represent Aniocha Oshimili constituency. I'm from Delta State. This is a motion for the rehabilitation of the federal road in Oshimili, Aniocha Federal Constituency. The House notes that the Ubiaja Ebu Asaba in Oshimili Federal Constituency is a high commuter road with across the state, which facilitates commercial activities both within the state and outside the state. Worried that with the present rate of road commercial activities of residents will be immensely affected and paralyze economic activities within that region, ultimately leading to the loss of millions of naira worth of goods. Cognizant that the rehabilitation of the road would boost economic...
Honorable Lalu, approach the chair.
...economic activities in the region and facilitate quick movement of people from the region to the nation's capital in record time. The House resolves to urge the Federal Ministry of Works and FEMA to immediately commence repairs on the Ubiaja Ebu Road in Edo State and Oshimili North, Oshimili South of Delta State. Mandate the Committee of Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Hussein. Is it Hassan Hussein at the back? Can't see the face properly. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Mukhtar Umar Zakari. I represent Taroni Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Kano. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my brother here. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Legislative Compliance for further legislative action. The 13th order of the day is a motion on deteriorating state of electricity supply in Mina and environs. Standing in the name of Honorable Yusuf Kure Baraji. Honorable Baraji is hereby invited to move the motion. Is he around?
I'm around, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. My name is Yusuf Kure Baraji. I represent the people of Boso Paikoro Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Niger State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to move a motion on the deteriorating power supply to Mina and its environment. The House do know that Niger State is home to crucial power generation infrastructure, including 3 hydroelectric power situated in Kainji, Jiba, and Shiroro. Aware of the recent hike, 240% hike in electricity tariff, which saw the rate increase from 60 naira per kilowatt to 225 naira across bandwidth. Alarmed that with incidences of grid collapse, residents and businesses in Mina, Metropolis, and its environment have continued to experience prolonged power outage despite charging consumers under different tariff bands. Concerned that the recent banding of customers into A, B, and C groups, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, based on expected hours of supply, has not translated to actual supply realities on ground. Mr. Speaker also concerned that the citizens of Mina and are currently receiving inadequate electricity supply despite the pay tariff, which is in stark contrast to their expectations. Therefore, resolved to 1, mandate the Committee on Power to interface with the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, Transmission Company, and Abuja Electricity Distribution Company to identify and address issues of poor supply of power. 2, also mandate the Committee on Power to monitor the restoration of stable electricity in Mina as soon as possible and investigate the poor electricity supply situation in Mina and its environment and report back to this Hallowed Chamber within 2 weeks. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this singular opportunity, and I so move.
Any seconder? You must be from Niger. You must be from Niger or a friend of Niger. This Rivers man, are you sure? So please, second, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name remains Honorable Boniface Merengwa, representing the people of Ikwerema Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, as a friend of Niger, I rise to second the motion, heavily moved by my friend, Yusuf Baraji, as a second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. There is it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Power for further legislative actions. The 14th order of the day is a motion on the need to complete the Okaki, Yenegwe, Okole-Nembe Road project, standing in the name of Honorable Mitema Obodo. Honorable Obodo is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, revered and speaking speaker, the man in whom we are all well pleased. Very distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Obodo Mitema, and I speak for Ogbea Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, my motion is on the need to complete the Okaki Yenegwe Kolo Nembe Road project. The House notes that the Okaki Kolo Yenegwe Nembe Road project connects over 30 communities across 4 local governments areas of Rivers and Bayelsa State.
DS leader, the 2 leaders, please, if you can approach the chair.
Also notes that this road project was
Minority Leader.
conceived.
Please, can you approach the chair? Sorry for the interruption, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And awarded in 1943 during the colonial era for a paltry sum of £3 million. Aware that the contract for the reconstruction of the said road was awarded during the administration of late President Shehu Shagari in 1981, but it was not executed. Also aware that during the administration of late President Umaru Yar'Adua, the contract for the reconstruction of the road was re-awarded to Messrs. Eneco Company Limited at the contract sum of 9,983,340,780 naira with a completion term of 24 months. Further aware that only 6 kilometers of the road was constructed by the contractor, thus abandoning the project. Worried that the non-completion of this road project has negatively affected travel time and access to local markets, workplaces, educational institutions, and farms. Also worried that several communities and commuters and residents, especially farmers, have lost their lives and farm produce worth millions of naira as a result of the deplorable state of the road and robbery incidences. The House therefore resolves, 1, to urge the Federal Ministry of Works to prompt the contractor, Messrs. Eneco Company Limited, back to site and expedite the construction of the road project. And 2, mandate the committees on works and FEMA to ensure compliance. Mr. Speaker, respectfully, I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Ajilo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My dear colleagues, my name is Umar Ajilo, member representing Makarfi Kudan Federal Constituency. I am from the Zazo Emirate Council of Kaduna State. I rise to second the motions ably moved by my very good friend and brother, Honorable Mitama. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajilo, for recognizing your roots. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. And for your information, the DS will soon be one of the members of Zazo Emirate Council, by the grace of God. This motion is referred to the Committee on Works and Federal Road Maintenance Agency for further legislative action. The 15th order of the day is a motion on rehabilitation of Biu, Garkida, Adama Road in Askira, Ubam, Hawul Federal Constituency. Standing in the name of Honorable Midala Osman Balami, Honorable Midala is hereby invited to move the motion.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Dr. Midala Usman Balami. I represent the good and dynamic people of Askira Uba Hawul Federal Constituency. Right, Honorable Speaker, I rise this morning to move the motion on the need for urgent funding to rehabilitate the Biu Garkida Gombe Road in the Askira Uba Hawul Federal Constituency in Borno and Adamawa states. Honorable colleagues, the House notes that the Biu-Garkida Road, a critical transportation link serving several communities in the Askira-Uba Hawul Federal Constituency, has fallen into a severe disrepair, posing significant risks to commuters and hindering economic activities in the region. Also note that the road's deplorable condition has caused numerous accidents, leading to loss of lives, injuries, and substantial damage to vehicles. These deteriorated infrastructures not only endanger the safety of road users, but also impaired the socio-economic development of the area. Concerned that the current state of the Biu-Garkida Adama Road is likely to worsen with the onset of the rainy season, further increase the risk of accident and hampering transportation of goods and services, it is critical to address this issue promptly to avoid further loss of lives and economic stagnation. Worried that despite being awarded for construction and rehabilitation in 2020, the road project has not received the necessary attention and resources, leading to continued degradation and significant challenges for commuters and businesses in the region. Aware that the rehabilitation of this road is vital not only for safety and well-being of the residents of Borno and Adamawa State, but also for the overall connectivity and economic stability of the Northeast region. The Biu-Garkida Gombe Road is key route for transportation, trade, and access to essential services. The House resolved to urge the federal government, Ministry of Budget and Planning, Works, and other relevant agencies to allocate funding and resources to rehabilitate Biu-Garkida Gombe Road. Also urge the federal government to prioritize this project and ensure that the road rehabilitation is completed without further delay to safeguard lives, support economic growth, and enhance transportational infrastructure in Askira-Uba Federal Constituency and the Northeast region. Urge the Committee on Works and Appropriation and other relevant MDS to allocate funds, monitor the progress of this vital infrastructure project to guarantee timely completion, effective use of the allocated fund. Mandate Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? I will do something that I have never done before, because definitely if it is Borno affair, I know who should be the seconder. Even if he choose not to, I will recognize him to second this very important motion. Honorable Batera.
Check your mic. Somebody's mic might be on.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Mukhtar Bechara Aliu. I represent the good people of Biu, Bayo, Koyoko Sarshani. I'm from Borno State. I rise to second the motion as moved by my brother, Honorable Maidala.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Works and Legislative Compliance for further legislative action. The 16th order of the day is a motion on installation of appropriate and adequate metering system by the Department of Petroleum Resources of Nigeria, standing in the name of Honorable Afupe Moruf Afolabi. Honorable Afolabi is hereby invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Afolabi Afupe. I represent the group of Abukta South local government from Ogun State, Mr. Speaker. I want to deliver Mr. Speaker to step down this motion for many reasons, sir.
Thank you, honorable colleague.
Thank you, sir.
This motion is stepped down by the leave of the House. Honorable members, the next business of the day is presentation of one bill. I now invite the clerk to read its short title.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Nigeria Police Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading.
Thank you, Clerk. The next order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Police Act 2020 to review the service years of police personnel in order to improve the experience and expertise of the police workforce, to retain experienced personnel and reduce the cost of training and recruiting new officers, improve the morale, performance, and job satisfaction, and to address the shortage of experienced police personnel and related matters standing in the name of Honorable Tajuddin Abbas and Honorable Abubakar Maki Eleman. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 24th May 2024. Honorable colleagues, I will invite the Chairman, Rules and Business to move that the House will suspend the relevant provisions of the standing orders to enable the House commence and conclude debate on the general principles of this particular bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis Ejirogane Waive is my name. I represent the entire people of Ughelli North, Ughelli South, and Udu. I'm from Delta State. I rise to move that the House do suspend the relevant rules to allow the second reading of this all-important motion. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Yes, Honorable. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Kwamoti Bitrus Lowry. I speak for the people of Jamsa Numan Lamude Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion as moved by Chairman Rules and Business. As a second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, with your kind permission, Honorable Mikey will lead the debate on our behalf.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I remain Abubakar Maki Eleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Madam Doro Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to lead the debate on the bill to amend Police Act 2020. My respected colleague, this is a very straightforward piece of legislation that seeks to amend the Nigerian Police Act 2020. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, this bill seeks to amend the Nigerian Police Act 2020 to review the service year of police personnel in order to improve the experience and expertise of the police force. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, to retain expense and personnel and reduce the cost of training and retraining new officers, improve the moral performance and the job satisfaction, and to address the shortage of experienced police personnel. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, my respected colleagues, in view of the present security challenges being faced in our country and the effort of the police to bring it under control, the need to amend this act, it becomes necessary for us in the system, and therefore appeal to our overwhelming support and the bill to be read for the second time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my honorable colleagues.
Any seconder to this bill? Honorable Mepalas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, Kabir Ahmadu Mepalas is my name. I represent the entire people of Bosos Afe, Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Zamfara State. I rise to second this bill. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This bill is referred to the, clerk, read the long title, please.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Nigeria Police Act 2020 to review the service years of police personnel in order to improve the experience and expertise of the police workforce, to retain experienced personnel and reduce the cost of training and recruiting new officers, improve the morale, performance, and job satisfaction, and to address the shortage of experienced police personnel and for related matters. Second reading.
Thank you. Honorable colleagues, we have two announcements. The first is coming from the Deputy Speaker and reads as follows. Emergency meeting of all the zonal caucus leaders with the House leadership tomorrow, Wednesday, 22nd May 2024, at the conference room of the Deputy Speaker. Attendance is mandatory. Very important issues to be discussed, please. Time is going to be 3 p.m. Signed, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, Deputy Speaker. The next announcement is coming from the Office of the Deputy Chairman, Committee on Police Affairs, Honorable Dr. Wale Hamed, and the message reads as follows. It is with profound sadness that I convey the passing of the dearly beloved father of our esteemed colleague and brother, Right Honorable Obasa, Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly. Alesulema Atanda Obasa, age 83, peacefully departed in the early hours of today. He leaves behind his devoted wives, children, and grandchildren. Mr. Speaker and my respected colleagues, I humbly request your heartfelt sympathies and prayer for Honorable Obasa and his entire family during this difficult time. With sincere condolence. Signed, Honorable Dr. Hamid Adiwale. So, honorable colleagues, shall we rise for a minute silence in honor of this very, very important son of our citizen of Nigeria and an eminent person from Lagos State. May his soul rest in peace. Honorable colleagues, the 17th order of the day is consideration of 5 reports of the Committee on Public Petition. On public petitions, Honorable Mike Eteba, if he's around, can please move for their consideration. Honorable Eteba.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Mike Etaba, member representing Obubraitung. I'm from Cross River, the People's Paradise. Mr. Speaker, I move for the consideration of the following reports to be considered. Mr. Speaker, the report to be considered is the House to consider the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by A.E. Adole and Co. against Julius Berger Nigeria PLC, Ijora, Lagos, a case for conspiracy, vendetta, criminal defamation, and conduct likely to cause breach of peace. Mr. Speaker, another report to be considered is the House do consider the reports of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petitions by Dr. Hilary Ibe against the Veterinary Council of Nigeria for reinstatement and payment of full benefits and approve recommendations therein. Mr. Speaker, the following report is the report on Report by Dr. Momeke George Oyekanjike against Bini Owena River Basin Development Authority. And another report is to be considered is the House do consider the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Joseph Andrew against the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, as appeal for reinstatement back to service and approve recommendations therein. Mr. Speaker, the last but not the least report to be considered is the report on the petition by MC Chambers against MultiChoice Nigeria Limited, the National Broadcasting Commission, and the Federal Competition and Consumers Protection Council. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, these are the reports to be considered. I thereby move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Rotimi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Akitunde Rotimi Jr. I represent the good people of Ekiti North 1 Federal Constituency, which comprises Ikole and Oye local government. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to second the motion that these reports do hereby be accepted, so as submitted by Honorable Mike Etaba. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That's it. Leader, can you move that the House resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider these reports?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do resolve into Committee of the Whole to take the reports submitted by Honorable Etaba. I so move.
The Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is it. House has resolved to the Committee of the Whole. Thank you.
Most distinguished colleagues, the first report to be considered is that of the Committee on Public Petition on the petition by A.E. Adole and Co. against Julius Berger Nigerian PLC, Ijora, Lagos. A case of conspiracy to vendetta, criminal defamation, and conduct likely to cause breach of peace. I invite Honorable Mike Etaba to give the synopsis of the report. Make it 1 minute, please. 1 minute.
Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues, my name once again is Mike Etaba from Cross River. Like you've rightly instructed, Mr. Chairman, I'll just give a breakdown on the consideration. This report we are considering now, which is the A.A. Adole is in respect of the sack of Mr. Julius. Sorry. Is in respect to the sack of Mr. Umar Edet Okon. And the recommendations here from the House Committee on Public Petitions is to urge the management of Julius Berger Nigeria PLC to reinstate the petitioner, Mr. Umar Edet Okon, back to the service of Julius Berger Nigeria PLC, pay him all the areas of his benefit and entitlement. Or, in the alternative, pay him off with his entitlement and benefit if his services are no longer required in the company. Caution the management of Julius Berger PLC to always abide by the extant employment laws and regulations as regards to the management of the staff of the company. Mr. Chairman, these are the synopsis of the first report, sir.
Thank you very much. But next time, don't read your recommendation.
Okay.
Synopsis does not mean reading the recommendation.
Okay.
Just summarize it.
Okay, sir.
No?
Yes.
So the question is that recommendation 6.1 to 6.4 be made part of the working instrument of the House. Recommendation 1, 2, 3, 4. Leader is gone. You have something to point out? Please do.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Recommendation 6.4.
Recommendation 4?
No, 4. Am I looking at the right one?
Page 5.
Yes. I think, I'm not sure Julius Berger appeared before this committee. Did they? Julius Berger. They did not come. This is a recurring thing. They never show up. I just thought I should point this out so that we would have to decide on how to handle Julius Berger. With the money they make in this country, they have a flagrant disregard for the powers of this House. Thank you very much, Chairman.
Thank you very much. This caution should go from the House, a written caution to Julius Berger. Clerk, please take notes, because the prayer number 4, they are talking about the application of prayer number 4, which is caution management of Julius Berger. So this caution is expected to emanate from your office immediately. Please send me a copy. I would like to follow up this. And this information also is vital for other private sector players. If you are invited for issues that affects the common citizens of this country, it's not enough to hide under the umbrella of playing in the private sector field. As long as citizens' interest is involved, the parliament has the right to ask questions with regards to things you are doing that affect their lives. The second report to be considered,
Chairman, sir,
is that of, yes. Is it on the first?
Yeah, I just wanted to lend my voice to what. I wanted to lend my voice to what the leader of the House has said. We have agreed to caution. I don't know to what extent that caution will really serve the purpose. Invite them, they don't come. Are we cautioning them not to come? Are we cautioning them to come? Or I'm thinking aloud anyway, that if leadership use instrumentality of the office to summon them, and let us see if they will come. Because a mere caution, I don't know how far that will go, how far-reaching it will be. It's a common practice, especially with this company that has been. If they didn't appear, and we have just cautioned them, what defense have they provided? What insight have they given to us? Nothing. So I think it would be necessary to use the instrumentality of your office. So you summon them. Let us see whether they will appear. And if they don't, then you apply the other aspect of the law that requires that if they need to appear and they don't come, of course, we can issue a warrant of arrest. Let the world see that we are serious with what we are doing. There is no other place higher than the National Assembly with regards to lawmaking or holding people accountable. If the law allows the National Assembly to hold even the President of the Federal Republic accountable, I do not see how and why the National Assembly cannot hold a company operating within this country accountable. If we let this go, I think we have just thrown our powers overboard, and several others will take a cue from it. So we should put our feet down and ensure that this will be the final way or means to resolve all these issues that people have been throwing around. There are other reports of other, even heads of parastatals that would show this level of disdain to Parliament. They will refuse to come. They are also watching to see what you would do. They have friends. They could be talking to each other. They invited us and we refused to go. What did they do? A mere caution. It's just my opinion. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable. Can you move it as a motion? I want you to move it as a motion because the chair cannot move that motion. The motion will always come from the floor. So move it as a motion that beyond the prayer number 4 or an amendment to that prayer number 4, that beyond cautioning them that they should be summoned by the House through the leadership, we cannot grant what is not prayed. So make it a prayer as an amendment to the existing prayer. We will now vote on that. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Awaji Nombeg Dagomie Abiante, represent Andoni Opoponkora Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, I haven't gone through the recommendations of the Committee on Public Petitions with respect to the petition between A.E. Adole and Co. against Julius Berger and the need to caution. I want to add recommendation number 6.5, that having noticed the behavior of Julius Berger regarding the attempt to resolve these issues, their non-appearance, and the need to put to rest attitude and conduct of this kind, that this House mandates the leadership to summon the management of Julius Berger to appear before her, to give further insight and explanation on why they have always ignored or refused to obey invitations from the National Assembly. Being that this is the highest law-making body and organ of this country, with the mandate of even...
You're now leading
Thank you.
debate.
I so move, Mr. Chairman. So move.
I think you've laid a very good foundation, and I must commend you for being very observant. That is the purpose of this consideration of report, committee of the whole, where we deep dive on recommendation. I really commend you for pointing this out as a seasoned legislator. This motion has been moved, like you know. The chair cannot grant what is not prayed. The amendment to that motion, the prayers, have been made by Honorable Abiante. Let's have you, Honorable Agocha, seconded. But you are not on your seat. Next time you speak from your seat because they are recording where the voice is coming from.
Sir, this is the committee of the whole. I thought so, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, sir.
You have a strong opinion there.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Honorable Obi Agocha. I represent the great people of Iguano, Umuahia North, and Umuahia South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State, the home of the most performing governor in Nigeria, Dr. Alex Oti. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the amendment ably moved by my good friend, Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Thank you, Honorable Agocha.
Point of order.
Point of order? What is your point of order?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I observed, sir, you had already hit the gavel on those recommendations. I think we need to move for relevant provisions of the House rules to allow for amendments to be made further to you hitting the gavel.
Rules and business is not here. You move the motion for rescission.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, sir. Akitunde Rotimi, Ekiti North 1 Federal Constituency comprising Ikole and Oye local government. I rise to move the motion for the rescission of the earlier decision that was made so that we can accommodate the amendments. Thank you very much.
Seconder. Let's go. Yeah, let's hear the voice of our lady. Please, Miriam.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, distinguished honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Miriam Odinaka Onoha. I represent the people of Okigwe, Onoimo, Isialamba, Federal Constituency. I am from Imo State. I rise to second this motion as ably moved by my colleague, Honorable Rotimi. I so second. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Miriam. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in support of the first motion that was moved by Honorable Abiante and seconded by our brother Agoja say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, the second report to be considered is that of the Committee on Public Petition on the petition by Dr. Hilary Ibe against the Veterinary Council of Nigeria for reinstatement and payment of full benefit. I invite Honorable Mike Etaba to give the synopsis of the report. 1 minute, please.
Mr. Chairman, thank you once again. My name is Mike Etaba. Mr. Chairman, I must commend you and my honorable colleagues because of the non-compliance of some of the agencies, MDAs, and private organizations. And one of the things we, the committee, has tried to do is to compile a list of those who have not been responding, waiting for them to defend their budget in 2025. When once your name is found there, I hope the leadership will do something about it to make sure that their budget is not considered completely for not appearing to, attend to Nigerians' issues. Mr. Chairman, I go for that to take the second report. The second report is about Dr. Ibe. And Dr. Ibe's case is Veterinary Council accused him of fraudulent practices and then took the matter to EFCC. EFCC now took the matter to court and abandoned the matter. And when they abandoned the matter, the judge had to strike out the matter, and Mr. Ibe now approached the court. And EFCC didn't bother to appeal, neither did the Veterinary Council bother to appeal. So this was the crop of the matter, and the committee considered the issue, and a report was produced, and this is the report we are presenting to the House, Mr. Chairman.
If the matter appeared before court,
yes, sir.
What was the judgment of court, the order of court?
The order of court did not find him guilty. The order of court did not find him guilty. In fact, there was no judgment because EFCC was not appearing. Veterinary Council was no longer appearing. So the matter was abandoned, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Honorable colleagues, we have a rule in this House. This matter is before the court that we don't enter into that space. But if there's an evidence by the committee that it was abandoned and there is no judgment order from court that is different from the recommendation, we might go ahead and consider this recommendation.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if the matter was in court, we understand that it would be sub judice for us to dive into the matter. But as we speak, the matter was not in court and is not in court.
Was it struck out? Was it withdrawn?
It was struck out and for non-appearance of the both parties that presented the matter before the Honorable Court.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, the question is that recommendation 7.1 to 7.4 be made part of the recommendation of this committee. Recommendation 1, recommendation 2, recommendation 3, recommendation 4. Most distinguished colleagues, the third report to be considered is that of Committee on Public Petition on the petition of Dr. Momeke George, Onyekam GK, against the Benin Owena River Basin Development Authority on a complaint of unfair treatment and handling of service condition, an appeal for investigation and consideration of his petition brought before the 9th Assembly was not concluded before the end of the 9th Assembly. I invite Honorable Mike Etaba to give the synopsis of the report. Is it coming from 9th Assembly or it was entertained by this Assembly?
It came from 9th Assembly, but it wasn't considered, Mr. Chairman.
So the
report was not concluded. You know, when you do a report without consideration in the House,
So did you review the report?
Yes, I will
committee reviewed the report?
The petition was brought back to the House. It was taken in the House. Then we took the matter fresh again.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So synopsis, 1 minute.
So, Mr. Chairman, our simple recommendation is for Owena Basin Authority to reinstate Mr. George Moemeka for not following the rules specified by the civil service, laid down practice. So we recommend that the House reinstate Mr. George Moemeka, and that was our final.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, the question is that recommendation 1 to 6, that is 6.1 to 6.6, be made part of the recommendation of the report of this committee. Recommendation 1, recommendation 2, recommendation 3, recommendation 4, 5, 6. Most distinguished colleagues, the fourth report to be considered is that of the Committee on Public Petition on the petition by Joseph Andrew against the Nigerian National Petroleum Commission Limited. An appeal for reinstatement back to service. I invite Honorable Mike Etaba to give the synopsis of the report. 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues. Well, Mr. Chairman, like we earlier said, NNPC is one of the worst organizations that least respond to Nigerians' plight. And in the course of this petition, we never saw them. They didn't appear. And based on our evidence and facts before us, they ought to have listened to this man, treat this man as a Nigerian, so that this issue will be handled before even coming to the committee. But looking at the petition, we looked at it, and there was no merit, and any reason why the man should be dismissed. So we have reinstated the man by our recommendations, so left for the House to consider the way we have recommended, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Just in the spirit of the precedent that we just set a few minutes ago when our Honorable Abiante raised the issue of non-compliance by those invited to meet with the House. I think that precedent, that rule of stare decisis should apply in this case as well. But it is up to the House to decide. So can somebody move a motion, if you agree with this, that we also meet with NNPC as quickly as possible to be able to look into this in the spirit of what Honorable Abienta did before now? Who will move the motion?
Mr. Speaker.
Yes. My palace.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. Kabir Ahmadu Palace is my name. I represent the entire people of Gusau's Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from the state. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion that the NNPC, the leadership of the House should summon NNPC immediately for non-compliance or for non-obeying the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman.
Any seconder to that? Marky.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues. I'm Abubakar Maki Elleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Malamudori Kaugama Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my honorable colleague, Kabirume Palace. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
While summoning, let's ask the question first. Those in support of this motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. Why sending that someone, the relevant committees that work with NNPC should also be around alongside the public petition committee of the House should be there with the leadership to engage on this issue. Have we voted on this? So we are using this as amendment as number 5, the 5th amendment to the prayers. Yes, please.
Mr. Chairman, I have looked at the recommendations as captured here. I think the summon by the leadership should precede the consideration. Why? Because if you look at 6.4, the Committee on Public Petition is referring the man back to NMPC for whatever benefits he's going to get. That the petitioner should make his records of service available to the management of NMPC that has refused to appear before them. So I don't think that will guarantee any form of justice to the petitioner.
Don't you think we can amend that 6.4 and then put the engagement with leadership ahead thereafter to now do number 4?
That's okay.
That will go, right?
Yes.
Yes. So the amendment that have been done by my palace, who moved that motion? It was my palace, right? Yeah, seconded by Markey. So that motion, we are putting it as 6.4, while 6.4 becomes 6.5. So it will be, after the engagement comes the 6.5. Those in support of this say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have. Yes, sir. Press your mic.
Okay, Chairman, my name is Dr. Alex Ebona. I represent Abiyako Federal Constituency. I'm from Cross River State. Recommendation 6.3. This is a public document. We should look at that grammar. 6.3, please. And it can be corrected.
Okay, there is a typo error there. He's saying that the construction of the grammar there needs to be worked on. Please, Secretary, take note. Yeah. Honorable colleagues, the 5th report to be considered is that of the Committee on Public Petition on the petition by MC Chambers against Multi-Choice Nigeria Limited, the National Broadcasting Commission, and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission over the persistent and unjustified increase in the tariff. A request to stop same and implement the pay-as-you-view scheme. I invite Honorable Mike Etaba to give the synopsis of this report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues. My name once again is Mike Etaba. Mr. Chairman, on this particular petition, a particular chamber's petition, multi-choice.
I think this is the last report to be considered.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
good.
So this particular chamber's petition, multi-choice, and multi-choice happens to be one of the private companies that have refused to honor our invitations to, and also join NBC, join FCCPC in the unusual and on consultation increase of tariff in their charges. So, and this petition was taken at the process of we inviting multi-choice. Multi-choice couldn't make themselves available, but NBC came, the FCCP also came, and our resolution was since NBC is amending their act, they should also make their act more strengthening in such a manner that this incessant increment on a daily basis should not occur. Because we looked at the whole issue, we discovered that holding multi-choice to
it's not our duty to ask them to amend their act. It is our duty to amend the act if we find any lapses.
Mr. Chairman, actually the act
so
is under the process.
The chair is speaking, please.
Okay, sir.
If we find gaps in our laws that has created space for them to carry out in a manner that is not within the expectation of the legislators who drafted the law. It is our duty to get back to the House, pick up that piece of law and amend it, not for us to make a recommendation requesting that they amend their acts. We make the law, not them.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I think there is an error there. The recommendation did not say we are asking them to amend. We recommend that the House amend the relevant, portion of sections of their act so that it can encourage for more participation in the industry. So, Mr. Chairman, these were our submissions at the end of our deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The question is that recommendation 1 to 4 be made part of the recommendation on this report.
Mr.
Yes, contribution.
Yes.
My palace, have contribution? Amendment?
Yes,
okay, let him finish speaking.
Mr. Chairman, sir, it is my candid opinion that the committee may not have done a very thorough job, sir. Because this is one petition that is very dear to the heart of Nigerians. All that the committee has tried to do is to shift the goalpost. One, if there is any part, any aspect of the act that requires amendment, the committee should have been able to highlight such that these are the areas that made them handicapped. Because what they're saying is that there's something in the act that needed to be amended. Probably that was why they didn't conclude they should have highlighted those ones to enable Parliament effectively pass that hurdle. Secondly, the recommendation number 2, I do not understand what the committee means by directing the Nigerian Broadcasting Commission to introduce more broadcasting industries to operate in Nigeria in order to allow free competition among the industry and subscribers. Probably the wordings, the clerk should do a better job. I am confused. I don't seem to understand exactly what message the committee is passing with this. I don't understand. What is free competition among industries and among subscribers? What is the meaning of broadcasting industries? Mr. Chairman, I do not understand to that extent. My knowledge of English is terribly limited, but what I know, I don't understand what message you want to pass on. Even recommendation number 4, Mr. Chairman, that the issue of current charges in the country, such as charges in the country, such as inflation, I don't understand, fluctuations in Nigerian currency, removal of fuel subsidy, which led to the increase. They are justifying. They say, go and find out some. They are the ones even justifying what the changes are all about. And they are asking that they should be resolved jointly by the consumers, the subscribers, MBC, So why did they even write the petition to you? If you are now asking consumers, the customers, probably somebody in Otueke, somebody in Damaturu to come and resolve with who? They ceded the powers to us. And they cried to us that, look, we should help them. This thing is getting to, we are asking them to come and sit down where, which hall we take every consumer of DSTV to come and resolve it. I do not think that the proper job has been done on this petition, sir. We should step it down and ask them to go and do the proper thing before they come back. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
You have a right of reply. You've heard what Honorable Abiente stated.
Well, Mr. Chairman, what the issues my colleague has raised are very germane issues. And one of the issues he raised that is very critical is that those sections are supposed to be highlighted in the report so that the House will be properly guided. So I think in the wish of the spirit of the chairman, I think you step it down for proper work to be done, Chairman.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My dear colleagues, the Public Petition Committee is a very sensitive committee. In fact, it's like our mouthpiece. All the reports we have read, the grammar is not very good. So I would say that we need to look at the clerk of that committee and give the chairman a better clerk that will help in producing some of these reports. Like Abiante pointed out, if you go through these recommendations, some of them are so hazy, some you need to struggle to understand the meaning of what they want to convey. I know that the first recommendation, we have the NBC Act, and what they are struggling to convey is that because the Act is before us, that they have...
They are speaking in the same tones, and I agree with them. I totally agree with them. Reading from here, I've been reading some of the things, correcting it before pronouncing them. Thinking I will talk to the Secretariat privately, but now it's been raised openly. It's better to address it. Please, Clerk of the House, we need 2 lawyers from your team to work in that committee to help, because there is no how the chairman of the committee will do all the drafting. It's not his work. His work is to preside over sections and get it documented by those who keep record, and he will come here and present it. But when we are reading what has been given to him, we know he didn't draft it. We are struggling, and it ought not to be so. That is our quasi-judicial arm of the parliament. So it must have people with legal competence to be able to deliver there. I don't have intention of keeping us beyond 2 o'clock. So if it is still on this issue, please permit me to rule on it so that we don't go on discussing about it, so that we can leave here in the next 10 minutes. That's my idea. Please kindly bear with me. Kindly bear with me. All right? So this particular report is hereby stepped down by the leave of the House. Leader, please move that we do revert to plenary to consider the report from the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Chairman, Julius Ihonvere, ON, DSSRS. You think I've forgotten. I rise to move that the House do revert to plenary so the chairman of the Committee of the Whole can give report to the House.
Thank you very much. Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Chairman, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that we do revert to plenary to consider the report from the Committee of the Whole. I so second.
Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby revert to committee to plenary to present report progress from the Committee of the Whole. Thank you very much, honorable colleagues. The Housing Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by A.E. Adole and Co. against Julius Berger, Nigeria PLC, Ijora, Lagos, a case of conspiracy to vendetta, criminal defamation, and conduct likely to cause breach of peace, and approve recommendations 1 to 3, approve recommendation 4 as amended of the report. Most distinguished colleagues, the Housing Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Dr. Hilary Ibe against the Veterinary Council of Nigeria for reinstatement and payment of full benefits, and approve recommendations 1 to 4 of the report. Most distinguished colleagues, the Housing Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Dr. Momeke George Onyekam Jinke against the Benin Owena River Basin Development Authority on a complaint of unfair treatment and handling of service conditions, an appeal for investigation and consideration of his petition brought before the 9th Assembly but was not concluded before the end of the 9th Assembly, and approve recommendations 1 to 5 of the report. Honorable colleagues, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Public Petitions on the petition by Joseph Andrew A. against the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, an appeal for reinstatement back to service, and approve recommendations 1 to 3, move recommendation 4 to number 5, and insert a new recommendation 4 of the report. Most distinguished colleagues, finally, the House and Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on Public Petitions and the petition by MC Chambers against Multi-Choice Nigeria Limited, the National Broadcasting Commission, and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission over the persistent and unjustified increase in the tariffs, a request to stop same and implement the pay-as-you-go, as-you-view scheme, and deferred consideration for further legislative action. These reports are made working documents of the House after the adoption of the report motion to be moved by the Leader of the House. So, Leader, move that this report be adopted as a working instrument of the House.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the reports presented by you be adopted by the House as working documents of the House. I so move.
Honorable Chinda, please, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I so second.
Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. This report is hereby made a working document of the House of Representatives. I have an announcement. This is a communication from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, Speaker of the House of Representatives, National Assembly, submission of 2024 statutory budget proposal of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. In line with the provisions of Section 121 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I forward herewith the 2024 statutory budget proposal of the NDDC for consideration and passage by the House of Representatives. The budget proposal has been prepared on the basis of the NDDC's revenue and expenditure forecast and is aligned with the fiscal and developmental policies of the federal government and the renewed hope agenda. In addition, the budget proposal takes into consideration the 2024-2026 Economic Recovery Growth Plan, as well as key assumptions of the 2024 Appropriation Act of the federal government. The NDDC is prioritizing improvement in security, job creation, youth, and women empowerment, including social welfare, education infrastructure, and increased productivity in agriculture in order to contribute to the economic growth of Niger Delta region and the development of the nation at large. While I trust that the House of Representatives will, in their usual expeditious manner, consider and approve the 2024 statutory budget proposal of the NDDC, please accept, Right Honorable Speaker and members of the Parliament, the assurances of my highest consideration and regard. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This letter is referred to the Committee of the House on NDDC. Leader, please move that this House do adjourn till tomorrow, same time, same place.
Mr. Speaker, allow me to adopt, as you have just declared, adjourned to tomorrow, same time, same place. I so move.
The professor. Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the House do adjourn to tomorrow, same time and same place. I so second.
Thank you very much. Those in support of this motion that the House do adjourn till tomorrow, same time, same place. Say aye. Those against say nay. Those who want to adjourn till tomorrow, same time, same place, say aye. Those who want to stay back, say nay. Those who want to stay back will stay, but the House will adjourn till tomorrow. This House is hereby adjourned till tomorrow, same time, same place.